Hello and welcome to another behind the scenes video, or should I say the first behind the scenes video I've done. Sleepwalker is out. You've seen it once, you've seen it twice, maybe even 3 times, and I know you're wondering, how did they make this? Well, today I'm going to tell you. Behind my grandparents' house, there's this really cool pine tree forest, and I've wanted to shoot something there for a while. And I had this script mostly written, and me and Isaac went out there, who also starred in the film and did an amazing job. I kind of wanted to block out some scenes for a storyboard, so we scouted out some locations in the woods that would be cool to shoot, which is really helpful for when I was storyboarding to kind of know the angles and stuff I was looking for. And so then when I went home, I was able to kind of draw out frame by frame every shot that I wanted in the short. I think we followed the storyboard about like 99% of the time. So it was really locked in. When the storyboard was done, I kind of know the pacing and the feel of the short. After the storyboard was done, I went on to try to find props and stuff. I went on Amazon, I found a really cheap, just white, I think it was just a white craft mask. It was like $5 or something. I found just a big old black hat. My parents had an old oil lantern, which was really cool, and that was nice, so I didn't have to buy that. And then I was like, oh, I really want a big old black cloak. I thought that'd be cool.
What I wouldn't give for a Holocaust cloak.
What this do?
How did you get that?
My brother Jesse helped a ton with the short, which I'm super thankful for. He is strong, he is humble, he is just everything a woman could want. He constructed something that would hold the door and also could be placed in the ground so the door could stand on its own. The door is still out there today, so if you ever find the location and you see a door in the woods, you know. My sister Jordan and brother-in-law Nick were gracious enough to let us film at their house. Since they knew we were going to be filming pretty late, they actually slept out in the hallway, which is so nice of them. So thank you for sacrificing a good night's sleep so we could make this, Jordan and Nick. The second night, we filmed all the exteriors in the woods. We got there around like 6 o'clock p.m. and began setting up equipment and lights and stuff. And I had rented a generator at Home Depot because I knew we needed power out there to power all the lights and chargers. And I think we began shooting at like 7:30 or something like that once it got dark. Some of the lights we used I had a LED aperture panel, just like a little LED wand from Amazon. Isaac borrowed this Ari, I don't know how to pronounce it, light kit. We used those a lot, which was really nice, and then just gelled them. I had a 32-foot extension ladder, and we took one of the lights on the stand and just gaff taped that thing on the end of the ladder and then extended it up like probably 25 feet and leaned it up against a tree. And that was kind of the moonlight that we got. And I mean, whatever works, I'll tell you that. Just whatever you can do to get that light up there, you just gotta do it. Joe Nelson was shooting photos, behind the scenes photos, which turned out so awesome, so thankful. It's really fun having those and be able to look back and use them for promotional stuff. So big thanks to him. Bo Nelson too, he was Isaac's body double in the bed, and he actually fell asleep in the bed for like, man, it must have been like 2.5 hours while we were shooting other scenes. And like we look back and we're like, is Bo still sleeping in the bed? Cutting the short went really smooth since I knew how I wanted it to be edited. With the storyboard, I had it really locked down shot to shot, but there were some mistakes, and I will show you those and how we fixed them. We're watching it. All of a sudden Isaac says, wait a second, go back. So I go back a couple frames, and right there, his shoes are on. The red Nikes, clearly in the frame. But luckily I shot all the footage in 4K, so I was able to punch in about 70% and just reposition it, and there it looks good. You know, the shoe's not in frame, everything's looking good. But then I see I forgot an extension cord on the ground. Okay, what can I do? Well, I could track the shot and mask out some of this grass over here, duplicate it, freeze frame it, and put it over that. But I did that and it just wasn't looking good. And I thought, oh, let me see. The tree shadows are really harsh and they're going across the whole frame. So what if I just created a new solid and masked out a little tree shadow and put it across the shot, repositioned it, rescaled it so it fit over the extension cord. Now all I'll have to do is just duplicate the shot, pull it over the shadow, and then just mask Isaac's legs when they come over the shadow. And there you have it. It looks pretty good. We didn't record any sound the night of the shoots since we had the generator and we just weren't going to worry about it. We knew we'd record it later, so Isaac came up about like 3 weeks later and brought some of his recording gear, and we did all the Foley, which was really fun actually. Like, we were able to be creative with doing like footstep stuff with bringing pine needles inside and just goofing around with like different clothes, sound effects, and breathing. And I edited all the sound in Logic Pro X. I think it turned out really good. Just being able to get a more dialed in and crispy sound. Ooh, you gotta get that crispy sound. I mean, the fans love it. I love it. Get the crispy sound. After the cut was finished, we sent it off to get colored by Dimitri, a guy who colored Isaac's last film, and he just does great work. He's so easy to work with, and I'm really happy with the way he made it look. After all that, I just had to slap the sound on to the final color, do some promotional posters, get the hype up, set the premiere, and upload it.
You can just, it's really easy, it's cool, you can find festivals.
So man.
So now that I'm famous, I think some good advice I would give to whoever is wanting to shoot a short would be, don't give up, don't get discouraged. I know that every time I shoot something, I'm so excited, and there's always a point in the shoot where I get super discouraged and depressed, and I kind of want to just give up. And I'm so glad that I don't, or I didn't, and I never want to, just because even if it's crappy and the final product is not the best, just pushing through and finishing something is so much better than just starting something and not finishing it.